Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura Bakewell and here we bake things pretty well. Today we're going to be making some white chocolate raspberry scones. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and put your flour, your granulated sugar, and in here I have my baking powder and my salt. And we're just going to give that a quick little mix together. Alright, now to this I'm going to go ahead and add my grated butter. So you can grate your butter or you can put it into cubes. I find grating it to be much easier because then you don't have to work so hard with like a pastry cutter. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm just going to mix it together with my hands. Break up some of that butter. Alright, and it's going to just resemble some coarse crumbs. And now to this, I'm going to add 1 egg. That is our oven. It is preset to 425, so make sure that you do that. And I'm going to add some heavy cream, but I'm only going to add about 1/2 cup now, and then if I need more, I'll add more. So now I'm just folding that in. Let's go ahead and add a little more. Let's get back in here with our hands. Just a little more. You want this to be a nice consistent dough. It's not too wet. If you do add the heavy cream and it does get a little too wet, just add a little bit more flour. All right. Alright, so I'd say I probably left like 1/8 of a cup in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my 1/2 cup of white chocolate chips. Now you can use a white chocolate bar and cut it into pieces and use chunks if you wanted to. That's perfectly fine. Whichever kind of white chocolate you like or you prefer. I have a 1/2 cup of raspberries that I washed and I let drain. Now we're just going to mix this in here, and the raspberries will get squishy and they will get kind of decimated, but that will be okay. So I just take it and I kind of like squish it in my hands a little bit. Alright. So now with this, all those chocolate chips are nice and together. I'm going to get a little bit of flour and put it on my surface and wash my hands. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some flour down. We're going to plop this dough right onto there. A little bit more flour on top. And because of those raspberries, this is going to be a little sticky. So it's kind of like use as much flour as necessary, but don't use too much. All right, so you don't have to use a rolling pin. You can just use your hand if you wanted to. I'm only using a rolling pin because my hands are a little warmer than normal. And I don't want to melt any of that butter that's in there. We're basically just going to make it into a nice little disc. And you want it to be about a 1/2 inch high. You want like a nice thick scone. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my dough cutter. I'm going to cut this dough right in half. And then cut those halves in half. And then we'll cut those in half. So you should have 8 pieces of dough. Just like that. And now I have a tray lined with parchment paper. We're just going to go ahead and pick these up and put them right on the tray. If there's like a little bit too much flour on the bottom, just pat it. Like that one. Just like that. So you're going to have 8 triangles put onto your tray. And now these are going to go into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. So you want nice light brown, but you also want the center to not be like super gooey. Alright, so let's put these into the oven. Alright, so here are our scones. They're nice and golden brown, cooked perfectly. So now I'm just going to let these sit to the side to cool. And then while those are cooling, I just have a little over like, I think maybe a 1.5 cups of powdered sugar here. And then to that, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'll add about a 1/2 cup. Well, let's add about a 1/4 cup first. I almost forgot what I was doing. Alright, so this is going to be a glaze. This is more like a dipping glaze, kind of like what you would do for a donut. Don't need that. And we are done with the vanilla. So if you wanted to, you could make this a little thicker and you could pipe on the glaze if you wanted to. I'm just going to use a brush and I'm going to brush it onto my scones. So let me grab those. And I'm going to do these while they're still warm. So it'll kind of melt a little bit and give it like a nice pretty sheen rather than it being super dull. I'm just going to go ahead and brush these. It smells so good. Alright, and you can already see, like with these, how that the glaze kind of just like already melted into it and it has like a really pretty sheen, so that's going to harden and give like a nice small little crack. Not like a crunchy crack like a creme brulee, but like it'll have some texture. So now these are going to sit to the side to cool, and then you can eat them. Alright, so here are our scones. They are nice and cooled, still slightly warm, perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and take a bite out of one of these. Mmm. It is like the perfect balance of sweetness, raspberries, chocolate chips. Oh, and then that glaze on top just adds that little extra sweetness that you need. Oh, these are really good. Mmm. 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 Thank you for joining me in the kitchen today, guys. These are phenomenal. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!